All right. Well, welcome to the Decision Maker podcast. Today I've got a great guest, Thais Saenz. Is
Yes.
that how you say it?
Signs.
Saenz?
Yeah. Pretty close.
Signs.
Yeah. Signs.
Very, very cool. And man, she's just a really amazing woman and doing a lot of great stuff out there. And she's in the service for roofers. So if I
Yes.
understand that
Exactly.
correctly. So just to start out with, I would just love to hear about you, maybe a little bit of your background, and then what your company does, and kind of just a little 30,000 foot overview of what you guys do.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. First of all, thanks for having me on here. Super excited, Tyser. So super excited. And did I say that right? Did I butcher your name?
Absolutely, you got it.
Okay, good. I was like, thanks.
Nailed it.
No, thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it. Yeah,
Mhm.
so a little bit really quickly about me. So I kind of have those crazy stories. Some people are like, you're like Dora the Explorer. I was actually born in the Amazon jungle in Brazil,
Wow.
and with indigenous tribe, and then moved to Mexico. That's where I learned Spanish. And then through my parents' job, we came to America, and then I learned English, right? But Brazilian, that's where I know Portuguese, Spanish, and living in Mexico and so forth. So, anyways, all my life, I've always loved business. I've always kind of loved the entrepreneur, but didn't really know. My mom says when I was little, she's like, you would always try to sell things. If that was in school or
Mm.
wherever it is, I was always trying to sell something. So I kind of always liked business in some way. But yeah, long story short, had a really successful corporate career, 15 plus years in corporate America,
Mm.
climbed the corporate ladder, and decided after listening to a podcast
Wow.
when I heard the individual on the podcast say the best thing I ever did is hire virtual. And so that kind of stuck with me
Wow.
in the back of my head. And yeah, when life happened, COVID happened, all that stuff, I said, this is a great opportunity. So open my
Mm.
business and then resign my corporate career. So I'm a corporate dropout, and yeah, so happy to be here.
That's awesome. So you loved business from an early age. Was there any influence, or was it just built? You're just born that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like my mom says since I was really small, like 3 years
Mm.
old, I was already trying to like sell something, make something. So it's like it's always been ingrained in me. I think
Gotcha.
business ideas. So yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. So let's hear about Saenz Global.
uh-huh.
Let's hear about what
Yeah,
you guys
absolutely.
do and how you work and all that.
Yeah. So what we do is we realized in the roofing industry, it's a
Mm.
phenomenal place, right? However, what's a need in the market is really roofers being able to do what they are great at, which is sell more roofs, go out there and get more business, and have someone that they really can count on to do their back office, right? And I'm
Mm.
not talking about because in the industry, right, it's not a job that a lot of people want to stay on for long term. You get a lot of turnover, all of those things. So what we did is we are a team of admin experts for roofers. So
Mm.
what we do is we integrate into the roofers world, into their systems. We don't use anything third party. We're integrated into their CRM tools. If they're using Job
Mm.
Nimbus, AccuLinks, whatever,
Mm.
how like CRMs are using, whatever platforms are using, Roofar, like all of the things. And then we just integrate virtually into their platforms and do all the admin work for them. So obviously there's such great wins for them. One, they get a team of specialized experts in the roofing admin world. So they're not having to focus on training. They're not having to worry
Mm.
about, am I going to get my ROI back, right? Because it's a partnership. So it's a month to month service
Mhm.
that we're providing and working alongside our roofers to grow. We love seeing roofers go from, one area of a million. We love when they're like at 3 million, and then we get to see them go to 6 to 8, 12, 15. It's like we're on the
Awesome.
journey with them because we're able to really, we have the capacity to, as they're growing, we can grow along with them. So what we do is we just help them focus on their sphere of genius, and we focus on our sphere of genius, which is all things admin for roofers.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, so whenever we were in roofing, we started with Job Nimbus and then went over to AccuLinks. So
Oh.
what is it? How does it kind of look? Would it be if I was in AccuLinks, I could just tag you, one of y'all, the team member? Is there a team member assigned, or is it just all your team members, whoever picks it up, or?
No, so it's like what we do is we are like a roofing admin machine, right? So
Hmm.
the perk of when you work with us, you
Hmm.
get a team. Literally, you get a US based point of contact. So that
Wow,
person is the one that you can call, text, FaceTime, whatever, anytime they're
gotcha.
answering. And then the team that is like working behind the scenes getting the job done. That's why we can pump out so much work so quickly,
I
just
see.
because it's not a designated, just these people. It's like, no, it's like the team is designated to you. So when, let's say you're on AccuLinks, what we do when we onboard is say, hey, set us up with an admin at, your company email, and then admin at your AccuLinks user. And then what you do is whenever you need anything, you just tag, and then the team designated that is working, boom, on that, they go ahead and get the work pumped out. But yeah, we'd love to be on if they have like not client, but like team meetings and things of that nature, the team will be on it. So like their client success manager that's in the US will be on that call, and they can meet the team, because we're not just there to help the owners. We're there to help the company in full. So we're there to help roofers have bandwidth when it comes to admin support, right? So for some roofers, they're full admin, and they're a multi-million-dollar roofing company doing $8 million, and we're all their admin. And then some, we just partner alongside their in-house admin. So we just give them more capacity to keep being able to do more work without really having to bring someone in the office, train them, and then hope it works out. So that's what we do.
So one of the reasons that the other company didn't make it was because overhead was too high. And part of that was due to some of these people are going to be listening, so I'm sorry, but you're expensive. So, and we also have, and some people only think about, I've got to pay that person, but you also have to have office space for that person. So I can see a lot of advantages to what you guys do, because you can have a smaller office, a smaller footprint, maybe not even have an office really if you didn't want to, but you can save a lot of money and save a lot of just headaches just having a service like what you guys do. So very cool.
No, thanks. Yeah. And you kind of hit it on the nail on the head. It's like the ROI on having a team specialized in like really partnering with you is such a huge return, right? The owners don't have to worry about, are they going to call out? Did they get COVID? Are their kids sick? Right? These are things that happen for everybody. But if it ever happens to any of the team, you would never know. And like we've been working with some roofers for 2+ years, and they've never had to one day that we called out, right? Because there's always a team working behind the scenes. So you kind of don't have to worry about that. They don't have to worry about benefits. They don't have to worry about paying insurance, any any of that, vacation days. It's like it's a huge ROI for
that's incredible. So what is kind of your philosophy behind your business? I mean, I know you had an initial spark during COVID and seeing an opportunity there. Are there any like daily mantras or daily kind of ideals that you stick to with running your business?
So when I started my business, right? So I kind of said, I always loved business. So I would always read a lot on business. And one of the things before I even started my own company, I just knew one thing. If I started a company, I had to hire people that were more intelligent than I am. And I had to hire people with the knowing that I'm not going to micromanage them, but instead I'm going to give them the tools that they need to really succeed, right? And let them do their magic. So when I first started my company, it was just admin for anybody. Like my first client was like a taco company, at a pharmacy, had windows and doors, and then we got a roofer, and then I was like, I really like roofers. Let's just stick with roofers. So what makes our company so it's awesome is the people in our team. So we have a team of 41 right now, and we're constantly we're adding more team members every single month. But our turnover rate is 0 in the last 2 years. And the reason why is because the culture behind our company is we want to make it a place where you really have exceptional talent, right? We take really good care of our people, and they feel really equipped in the mission. And so the mission that I always tell them is, this is not just simply a job, because what's happening is when they're actually doing the work, and when we're coming up with like the ability to help roofers and their teams take these things off their plate, they become happier because they're in their sphere of genius, right? A salesperson that has to do admin is usually miserable because they hate doing admin. But if that salesperson can focus just on sales, they're fulfilled, and so they become happier. And so when people are happier in life, they become happier parents, they become happier spouses, they become better, happier owners, they become better brothers, sisters. And so what the long-term effect of our work is really to impact lives. And so I say, yes, we do it in a form of admin, specifically for roofers, but what's happening is we're giving back to roofers' ability to really love what they do. And when they love what they do, they just become better people to be around. And we're all about the greater impact, which is at the end of the day, it's really impacting people's lives. So our tool that we use is admin, and we love what we do. And and the team is so badass. They're awesome.
That's awesome. Yeah, I can vouch for that. Just being on Instagram and seeing what you guys do, seeing some of your other content. Like, dude, these people love working here, and I didn't believe it at first. I was like, they're probably faking it, And then after I saw, I was like, no, these people really love working here, and you can tell they love what they're doing, and that's something that attracted me to my current job, Higginbotham. Was I had a friend who works here, and he just loved it. He was just happy, successful, and he was fulfilled. And I was like, man, I want what that guy's got. So that's really, really cool. What does kind of your weekly schedule look like with running your company? How does that look for you personally?
Yeah. So again, when I built the company, I said I'm that type of person that if I'm doing something I really hate, I actually become a procrastinator, right? So I procrastinate. I
Amen to that.
Don't do it. Like, it's just like, it's a really push. So I knew that if I was going to build this company, like I said, I had to only bring in people that were better than me, great, and were exceptional at what they do, and then let them do their magic. But also I knew that I could only grow the company if I only focused on doing what I love. So we've now got to the place as the CEO in the company where I truly just do what I love. And what I love is like this. I love the interaction with people. I love kind of seeing the vision of where our company's going, like strategizing. And so that's really my focus. Like we have an amazing operations team. They're very skilled. They're highly involved in there, but really my focus as CEO, when I kind of start my day off, come into the office here and just kind of like oversee what we're doing, work with our finance team. It's kind of just very high level, and just really focusing on what I love to do. Just people. That's what I love.
That's awesome. I think that's super inspirational for a lot of people who want to be business owners, because I think that's the dream for a lot of people. They just want to do it they love, and they're tired of working for a company that doesn't care about them. They're tired of working for a company where their value is determined by their salary, things like that. And they know that when you own your own business, your potential is uncapped, and you can also eventually get to the point where you work really hard, and then you can do what you're doing, where it's like, hey, I don't have to do some of these other tasks that I don't love. I did them for a couple of years. Now I can step back. Now I can really, just enjoy the success and run my company with joy. That's one reason I loved sales. Was I discovered that, hey, if I just put in the work, I get paid, and it's just an equal reciprocal thing. No one's telling me what I'm worth. So I always love that.
I love
sales. Being a business owner, you're always kind of in the sales space. How do you have any sales philosophies or sales influences, or any sales tips for the sales guys out there?
Yeah. So nowadays, no one likes to be sold to. Like, they really don't, right? So like a lot of the tradition, there's so much like old school way of thinking and theologies of like selling. And I think people are getting they have more knowledge. They can see when someone's really trying to sell them. And I think sales is the art of really first believe in what you're doing, right? Just like believe in the product, believe in what you like, make sure you really believe in it. Because what happens is when you're actually speaking to potential clients, it's like you're just presenting them something that makes so much sense that they just are like, yeah, absolutely, I'm in, right? So I think it's more like a sales is it depends on the industry, but I think especially like in roofing, it's like they really want to know like you care for them, and like don't BS me, like really care about what you do. And like that's the importance of roofers being able to have a really good appearance in the background, in the front, and then really healthy inside. So pretty much for sales, it's like, it's not really selling. It's really just showing them an opportunity and then making it so great that they're like, holy crap, that I want that, and that's really what it's about. That's what I feel.
Awesome. Yeah. I think I just heard somewhere that sales is just failed marketing, and marketing kind of comes first, like presenting your company in a light that is attractive. So then people just want to buy it. If you have to get to the sales process, it's kind of, you've already failed the marketing aspect. And that's something that stood out to me about you guys as well, was you had a really clean marketing. It's a very clean look, very professional, but very, like I said, positive, uplifting, happy, but also professional, in a way. And so that's just what stood out to me about you guys.
Awesome. Thanks.
What are,
Our marketing
yeah,
team is
go ahead.
awesome. No,
Sorry.
they're amazing. I said our marketing department is amazing. They're awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, they're killing it. I can say that. What are some of the biggest mistakes that you've made in your business running / business ownership career?
Yeah. So when I first started, I was like, everyone, I just need to get as many people as I can, right? As a business owner, you're like, let's say you're like, I need to get everything. So I need to do everyone. I want to be a Walmart or Target, because in your brain, it feels like I'll be able to offer more services to more people. And so what happens though is operationally, it is a disaster, because you're not able to, internally, it's so much work when you're bringing on all these different type of clients that don't have any reciprocation, right? And so when we were able to, and so I did a lot of fail and errors there. So I would be like, guys, we're bringing on this client, and they're like this one and this one, and everything was just like, everyone was overloaded, right? And so super unhealthy. And so my motto is like, the goal of our company is for us to be healthy in all areas of our life. We want to build a healthy company. And so when I finally realized, you know what? Yes, there are so many shiny objects everywhere. I could go after this and I could go after this market. But right now, we're just going to focus on one area, which right now is roofing. And roofers are like, at the end of the day, every roofer is their own DNA, but the skeleton is the same, very similar, right? And so it's operationally really great. And they say riches are in the niches, right? So like really being able to niche down into your ideal avatar, your ideal client, that's actually going to be a lot more beneficial than trying to serve everybody. And so if you're starting a business, like let's say you cut grass or, something like that, and then you're like, oh, but I can fix a shingle, or I could do this. And then you offer them like hundreds, like 5 services, and you think you're making a lot of money. At the end of the day, check how much profit you're really making, because you just had to go buy new tools. You just had to learn a new process. So really people are driven by revenue, but really should be driven a lot of times by profit. And that's going to really streamline who we go after and how we, who we focus on going after.
Man, that's so wise, because a lot of companies don't realize that they fall into the same trap of growth. We have to take in everything, and they usually get out over their skis and they have problems, and then they'll fail. I think we learned some of those lessons in recruiting with the company that I was with. They were just over recruiting in some ways, and it was just causing a lot of turnover, and a lot of kind of had this, I don't know, weird turnover waste that was going on near the bottom. You had these successful guys, and you had a lot of unsuccessful people just coming and going, and it was really dragging a lot of the processes down. And it was just because they were trying to grow a little bit too fast. Sorry, Drew. I know you're going to watch, but sorry. That's my opinion. So I know we've only got a few minutes left, but 2 last questions. I know the current economic climate is a little bit uneasy, kind of maybe on a little bit of a down tilt. Is there anything that you guys are doing to adapt to that, or do you have any advice for other businesses that are facing the same sort of pressures?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of times business owners get really nervous about, recessions and things of that nature, but it is proven that this is actually, during recession is where the most millionaires, where the most money is made, right? So this is literally where there's the most millionaires, most billionaires, like this is where they make the most money. And so instead of looking at it as oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We need to put ourselves in a power position, right? So if for example, okay, when if you need like additional lines of credit, just to have it there available, in case, put yourself in a powerhouse position. Also, you kind of know as well as, okay, are we going to have to adapt to the market? Are we going to have to now maybe offer a lower tier? Or are we going to very focus on even a higher tier? Because if a higher tier, they tend to not be so impacted by the economy, so they can handle it. If not, then am I going to have to go at a lower tier to offer other services? So putting ourselves in a power position, because the storms are always going to come, right? It's not like, someday it's coming. No, it is going to come at some point. So if as an owner, you can put yourself in the power position, meaning, okay, I see what's ahead. and it's going to come at some point. So I'm going to make sure our cash flow's safe. I'm going to make sure we have enough credit, line available. We're going to be strategic on seeing tiers. We're going to see what's going on with the market. If we see clients that are like, okay, we're going to have to stop, well, then instead go, hey, what if we offer you at this tier for now so you don't fully? So kind of looking at profit, making sure that you're still making money, you're not losing money, keeping clients. But yeah, just you want to look at this as a great opportunity, and we're really stoked for it. So yeah, we're really excited. There's a lot of opportunity when these things happen.
That's great. That's encouraging to me with my business, doing insurance, because, I start getting worried and start getting like, oh man, what if, I'm not gonna be able to get, it's like, no, all right, cool. I'm about to go make a lot of calls today, and we're going to kill it today. So
yeah. and like too, especially because everyone is feeling it, right? So human nature is when something is going to happen, recessions are going to happen. This is where most people start holding on to everything, right? And so as a business owner, you can speak to that, right, to them. So you can market to that. Like, I know that your fear is, so let's get you ready for. And so kind of speaking to them, knowing that their fears is a worry, and using that really to market to them and to really help your clients be ready as well.
Man, that's awesome. That's genius right there. All right, last question. What's the future vision for your company, and where do you see yourself in the next couple of years?
Yeah, so I get asked, like, are you gonna grow it and sell it? I'm like, I'm here for the long run. So I'm building a company where I literally want my kids one day to be like, I want to work there, right? So I'm here for the long run. I really am excited for 5 years down the line. We have some really big goals that we have. Yeah, but what I see for our company is, one, a place where people love working, and this incredible culture of people feeling this is not just, I'm not just doing a job. I feel like I'm really on a mission. And so that's one. And then later down, once this is like super healthy, I feel like I'll step away from being the CEO and hand it off to our CEO right now. And right now what we're doing is, I always tell them, the only way we as leaders can go to the next level is if we prepare someone to take our position. And so that's the culture in our company, right? So it's like, grow so that you can help someone else grow, and then that's how you get to the next level. So right now, I tell my directors, like, your goal is to be president. That's my 4C where I see there, COO to be CEO, and for me just to really be the founder, and then maybe go after some other things, right? So that's kind of the culture we're building. We really want our team to be with us for a really long time, and we want to dominate the industry for sure. But we actually don't want to dominate it having every roofer. We really kind of want to be like the Rolex. We want to go after we just want 1%, the top 1%. And so that's what we're really looking for.
Awesome. That's a great statement of, if you want, I can't remember, I think maybe Drew taught me this, or I read it in a book somewhere, but if you want to get promoted, train the guy underneath you to take your job. Because whenever they promote you, they're like, all right, cool, well, who's going to take your job? And it makes it a way easier choice when you do that. And not enough people are focused on training and on helping those beneath them. A lot of people will feel, competition with the people underneath them, or feel like, oh, I got to keep them down, especially in the corporate setting. You see that, you were in corporate life for a while. You might have seen that.
100%.
It's another reason I love sales, is because sales doesn't really have that. It's, hey, you go get yours, I'll get mine. We're all on the same plane. It's all good. There's no ladder to climb. So I love that. But for those who are in a ladder situation, don't be afraid to help out someone below you, because that's going to make you easier to promote and easier to move on. So thank you for that. That's awesome.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, people forget it's like a respecter, but it's good.
Well, awesome. I like to keep these short, just because, I value your time. I know you're busy. And if we keep them short, maybe we can do another one down the line too, because I'll have more questions.
Absolutely. 100%.
Well, thank you so much for coming on here. I'm excited to see what you guys are doing. If I can help you in any way, let me know. I'll definitely be recommending you guys to any roofers that I run across. So, because I've got a lot of relationships with roofers too. And if you ever need anything insurance wise, let me know. I'd love to help you out.
Yes, for sure. Awesome.
Are you guys you're all over the United States? Are you guys worldwide?
Yeah, we're nationwide right now. So we're just in the US.
Gotcha. Yeah. Very cool. Are there plans to go beyond that?
We kind of are looking at Canada as well. And that's for there. And then kind of, I think that's maybe where we would have really made our main focus, the US and Canada. But yeah.
Well, very cool. Awesome. Well, thanks so much. We'll go ahead and end the podcast here. Everyone subscribe and like, and we'll
Yes.
see you next time.
He's awesome. Bye.